Today, we're exploring 10 unforgettable songs marking their golden anniversary. These tracks shaped our lives, and now it's time to uncover their stories. Jethro Tull revolutionized rock music by incorporating classical elements and unconventional instruments. Bungle in the Jungle emerged during a period when frontman Ian Anderson was facing harsh criticism for moving away from the band's blues roots. The song's lyrics, though seemingly about wildlife, actually criticized the music industry's cutthroat nature. Anderson still performs Tull's music, though with different band members. He's recently revealed that Bungle in the Jungle was almost scrapped because the record company thought it was too complex for commercial radio. The song's success proved them wrong and reinforced Anderson's commitment to his unique artistic vision. The flute solo in Bungle in the Jungle was recorded in a bathroom to achieve the perfect acoustics. Anderson spent hours experimenting with different locations in the studio before deciding the tiled room provided the exact sound that he was looking for. Paul Anka's journey began in 1956. When he convinced his parents to let him travel to Los Angeles at just 14 years old. By 1957, he'd written Diana, which catapulted him into international stardom. 'Cause you're a one-man woman. His partnership with Odia Coates for One Man Woman, One Woman Man came during a controversial period when Anka was fighting against his clean-cut image and struggling with creative control. The collaboration sparked industry gossip about tension between the artists, with rumors suggesting Coates felt overshadowed by Anka's dominant personality. At 83, Anka continues performing and recently released Making Memories, an album featuring duets with contemporary artists. He's embraced streaming platforms and social media, though he's been candid about his distaste for modern music production methods. In interviews, he's criticized auto-tune and digital recording, stating they've stripped the soul from modern music. His stance has created rifts with younger artists who've approached him for collaborations. The recording of One Man Woman, One Woman Man almost never happened. Coates initially turned down the duet, and Anka had to convince her by offering an unprecedented 50-50 split on royalties, a rarity in 1975, especially for a female artist. The decision proved lucrative for both, though their professional relationship remained strained. Joe Cocker emerged from Sheffield's pub scene in 1961, performing as Vance Arnold and the Avengers before going solo.
You are so beautiful.
His raw, gritty interpretation of You Are So Beautiful showcased his signature style, though the song's origins sparked controversy. Billy Preston claimed full authorship, despite Bruce Fisher being credited as a co-writer. The disputed writing credits led to legal battles that continued for decades. Today's listeners might not realize Cocker struggled with alcohol during the song's recording, often requiring multiple takes to capture the perfect version. Before his death in 2014, he completed a final album, Fire It Up, which included a new arrangement of You Are So Beautiful. The track features previously unreleased vocal takes from the original 1975 session, mixed with contemporary instrumentation. During recording, Cocker insisted on performing in complete darkness, with only a small lamp illuminating his lyric sheet. The producer initially objected, but the unusual setup resulted in the emotionally charged performance we know today. The first take, done in full light, was technically perfect, but lacked the raw emotion of the final version. America, formed in 1970 by sons of U.S. Air Force personnel stationed in London, found themselves at the center of controversy with Lonely People.
This is for all the lonely people.
Dan Peake wrote the song during a period of profound professional struggle, addressing his wife's battle with depression while dealing with his own substance abuse issues. The band's clean-cut image contrasted sharply with their private lives, creating tension with their record label. The band continues touring, though without Peake, who departed in 1977 and passed away in 2011. Dewey Bunnell and Jerry Beckley have been transparent about their struggles during the 1975 period, revealing in recent interviews that Lonely People was almost left off the album due to concerns about its melancholic tone. They've since embraced the song's legacy, often discussing its impact on mental health awareness. The harmonies in Lonely People were actually inspired by a technical malfunction. During recording, a tape delay accidentally created an echo effect that the band decided to incorporate intentionally, leading to the song's distinctive sound. Hey friends, share your story in the comments. When did you first hear these songs? And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're building a community that appreciates real music with real stories. Rufus emerged in 1970 from Chicago's competitive R&B scene, but adding Chaka Khan in 1972 transformed their sound completely. You Got the Love marked a turning point for the band, though it also highlighted growing tensions. Khan's dominant vocals led to internal conflicts about the band's direction, with some members feeling overshadowed by her rising star power. The tension within Rufus eventually led to their disbandment, though their influence remained strong in modern R&B. Today, Khan continues performing as a solo artist, while several former Rufus members work as session musicians and producers. In recent interviews, band members have discussed the complex dynamics during the You Got the Love era, revealing that the powerful vocals were captured during a heated argument between Khan and the band. A little-known fact, You Got the Love was recorded in just one take, despite the band's internal conflicts. The raw emotion in Khan's voice came from a real argument that had occurred moments before recording began. The producer chose to keep rolling tape during what was supposed to be just a sound check. Mike Post started his career as a session musician at 16, but his breakthrough came with the Rockford Files theme. The network initially rejected the composition, claiming it was too progressive for a detective show. But Post stood his ground, threatening to walk away from the project entirely. His bold stance nearly ended his television career before it truly began. Now in his 80s, Post has composed themes for over 50 television series, though he admits the Rockford Files remains his favorite. He recently digitally remastered the original recording, revealing previously unheard guitar layers. The theme's success changed television music forever, opening doors for more contemporary sounds in TV scoring. The iconic guitar riff in the theme was actually played on a guitar borrowed from James Garner himself. Post didn't know it at the time, but the guitar had been modified by Garner's guitar tech, giving it the unique tone that became synonymous with the show. Ringo Starr recorded No No Song during a particularly turbulent period in his life. The former Beatle was struggling with addiction while trying to establish his solo identity. The song's anti-drug message came from a personal place, though many radio stations initially banned it, believing the lyrics actually promoted substance use. Today, Starr continues touring with his all-star band and recently released new material addressing his journey to sobriety. He's been open about the irony of recording No No Song while dealing with his own demons, using his platform to support addiction recovery programs. The song has taken on new meaning in recovery communities, though Starr admits he couldn't fully embrace its message until years after recording it. The song's distinctive laugh track wasn't planned. It came from the control room during recording. The producers were laughing at Ringo's exaggerated pronunciation, and when he heard the playback, he insisted on keeping it in the final mix. Listen up, friends. This is your community. Share your memories of these songs below. Hit subscribe, like this video, and join us in celebrating these musical treasures. Your stories matter so much to us. Paul McCartney formed Wings in 1971 after the Beatles' breakup, but Junior's Farm marked a significant shift in their sound. The decision to record in Nashville raised eyebrows, with critics questioning McCartney's artistic direction. Session musicians later revealed that McCartney's perfectionism led to intense recording sessions, with some walking out in frustration. Currently, McCartney continues performing and recently remastered several Wings albums, including previously unreleased Junior's Farm outtakes. He acknowledged the pressure he felt during the Wings era, trying to escape the Beatles' shadow while pushing musical boundaries. The Nashville sessions, though challenging, helped establish Wings as more than just McCartney's backup band. Interestingly, Junior's Farm was inspired by an actual farm where the band stayed during recording. The owner, Junior Putman, had no idea the song was about his property until he heard it on the radio months later. Leo Sayer began his career performing in small British clubs, often in mime makeup, before breaking through with long, tall glasses. The song's success surprised critics who had dismissed him as a novelty act. Sayer's theatrical background influenced his distinctive vocal style, though he faced constant pressure to conform to a more conventional pop image. Now based in Australia, Sayer continues recording and performing. He's embraced his unique place in music history, though he admits the pressure to maintain his early success led to difficult periods in his career. Recent interviews have revealed the toll that instant fame took on his personal life during the mid-1970s. The original demo of Long Tall Glasses was recorded on a tape recorder in Sayer's kitchen. The distinct walking rhythm came from him actually pacing around while recording, and producers insisted on recreating that spontaneous energy in the studio version. Ray Stevens brought humor to Misty, transforming Errol Garner's jazz standard into something entirely different.
I'm Misty, the moment you need.
The decision sparked controversy in jazz circles, with purists accusing Stevens of disrespecting the original. But Stevens defended his interpretation, arguing that music shouldn't be confined by genre expectations. At 85, Stevens still performs occasionally and runs his own dinner theater in Nashville. He's been vocal about the changing nature of comedy in music, noting that songs like his version of Misty might not be received the same way today. His willingness to take risks with established songs influenced later artists who mixed humor with musical talent. Stevens recorded Misty in response to a bet. A fellow musician wagered he couldn't turn a serious jazz standard into a country comedy hit. Not only did Stevens win the bet, but his version introduced the song to a new generation of listeners. My friends, we've journeyed through 1975 together, exploring these remarkable songs that turned 50 this year. They're more than just recordings, they're the soundtrack of our lives. Share your memories in the comments, subscribe to our channel, and join us next week for more stories behind the music that shaped our generation. Let's keep these memories alive together.